Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is going to be my weekly meal prep video. I made some great recipes that I'm sharing with you guys throughout this video. Very easy recipes to make, and I list all the ingredients and how-to instructions down in the description box below. So make sure to please check there for the recipe. And these also are really easy to change the ingredients to anything you specifically like. They're all really freezer friendly, microwavable friendly, because that just makes everything so much easier. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. I would love to have you here. If you just landed on this video, stick around and hit that notification bell if you want to be notified anytime I post a video so you don't miss. And let's just jump straight into this meal prep. For the breakfast English muffins, it's super simple and it's not going to take a lot of time, which is great. And also it's really good for heating up the next day or taking to work. You're going to need 6 English muffins, 6 eggs, and a turkey sausage of your choice, and velvetta cheese slices, and salt and pepper to taste. You're just going to whisk your eggs, season them up, and then we're going to make little squares to fit the English muffin. To do that, I just line a baking sheet with parchment paper because it's really easy to lift that parchment paper up and then you can cut the eggs. I baked this for about 10 minutes on 390, and while the eggs are cooking, I cooked the breakfast sausages, which I think they're already cooked. Actually, they're fully cooked, so you just really need to heat them up. So that took probably the same as the eggs, around 10 minutes. And then the eggs were out of the oven, so I just cut them into 6 squares because that's what we need for the English muffins. And then whatever I had left over, I actually gave to the dogs for a little treat. I'm just going to now assemble the English muffins. There's no really specific way you have to do this. I just folded 1 egg onto the English muffin, and then I did the sausage and eggs, and then I wrapped all of these up in aluminum foil. That's what I prefer to use, is aluminum foil. You could use plastic wrap if you want, or you could even store them in like a big container, but since Joey was also taking these to work, the aluminum foil just worked out better. And then to heat them up the next day, I think this is the best way to do it so that the sandwich doesn't get like hard on the edges and it stays nice and fluffy, is to damp a paper towel, wrap the sandwich up, and cook it for 3 minutes and about 20 to 30 seconds. It needs that little extra cook time because the egg was pretty thick when I folded it over. So 3 minutes and 30 seconds in a damp paper towel, and it is perfect. This is a very calorie friendly, sugar friendly jam. A lot of jam out there is super high in both sugar and calories, so I like to kind of make an alternative because I really love jam and I like a lot of it. I'm not happy with just a little bit, I want a lot of it. So I used fresh strawberries. I washed them and cut them up, and I'm adding that into a saucepan. The heat right now is on low heat, and I'm adding just a pinch of salt to kind of balance out the sweetness. And I've added no water, so this is just natural juices. It's been cooking for about 5 minutes, and I'm just kind of chopping them up with that kitchen tool I'm using. So you just want them into small chunky pieces, and then we're going to add the rest of the ingredients, which is super simple, and everyone should probably have something like this in their house. That's why I love making this, because it's just really easy. I'm adding 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So you could add more if you like vanilla. And then I'm doing 1/2 cup of water. I just added a little bit just now, and then I'm going to just keep adding it in slowly. So I'm whisking that together. I let that get to a simmer, and then I'll add the remainder of that 1/2 cup of water. I'm doing 1/2 cup of 0-calorie sweetener. You can use any 0-calorie sweetener you prefer. I think this was Splenda, pretty sure. Just whisking that together, and you're going to bring it to a little boil. It should look like this. You're going to be whisking throughout, so don't like walk away because it can burn. Stay there and just keep whisking for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes at max. And then we're going to let it cool in a glass container overnight. Don't even put it in the fridge. Just let it sit out on the counter and then add it to the fridge. It'll be nice and thick. Let it cool down, and that's what it'll look like. And this is my favorite snack currently. It's this flatbread cracker, And then I'm adding light cream cheese to the top, and then the jam. And it is so good. You're gonna want to eat this all the time. It's so good. I just love it. So please try it out. You won't regret it. You could also add this to your oats. You could add it into smoothies. You could add it to yogurt or cottage cheese, toast. Like it's just jam. So add it to whatever. I mentioned that I air fried a whole chicken, and I'm never turning back. I will be doing this forever. I'm a big fan of air fried chicken. I learned this from my brother-in-law, and I was like, "Did you just air fry a whole chicken?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Whoa, I need to do that." And I did it, and now we can't stop doing it. I'm making a rub for the chicken because you want it to be super, super flavorful. I'm using this cherry cola rub I got from Walmart. If you see this, pick it up because it's really good. And then it's pretty powerful, so you need to add some other seasonings to it. I'm adding garlic powder, paprika, and salt and pepper. So it's a very simple rub. And then I added 1/3 cup of olive oil, which sounds like a lot, but this is for a whole chicken. That's going to make you lots of servings. And a lot of that oil honestly just falls to the side. Like all that rub didn't stay on the chicken. So don't fear the olive oil. It's really good. It makes it super crispy. It actually adds flavor to it, and it helps make that like rub consistency. And then I'm going to smear it all over the chicken. And then we're going to pop it into the air fryer. I do have to make sure that I buy like a smaller chicken because my air fryer isn't very deep. So I always have to get usually like a smaller chicken, which has always turned out right. I'm able to like eyeball it and I know that it's gonna fit. So I've done it twice now. Both chickens fit perfectly. And you're gonna cook it on 395 for an hour and about 20 minutes. The first time I did it, my chicken was a lot smaller, so I only did it for like an hour and 10 minutes, and then this chicken was a little bit bigger, so I added about 20 minutes to it. And halfway through, so every 30 minutes, flip it over. You want each side to have some cook time, get it nice and crispy on each side. So 60 minutes on 395, flip it halfway through, and you're gonna get this beautiful crispy chicken. This is Joey turning it over. So that's 30 minutes only. 30 minutes only, and look how crispy it is. And then we're flipping it over. You can see that side needs some crisping. Crisp it up, and then additional 20 minutes for this one. And it turned out so good, you guys. You have to try it. It's like a rotisserie chicken almost. That's like the vibe. Look at it. I made just a little bit extra sauce because I wanted to kind of glaze the chicken a little bit, so I added a little bit more sauce to it and then pulled it apart and stored it in the fridge, and this was meal prep for a good week. These cheesy beef rice burritos were Joey's request. He wanted something to take to work, so I just cooked up some ground beef with taco seasoning. I also love to add the Taco Bell mild sauce to the meat. I think it makes it so much better, and it's really affordable. It's like $1.50 for the sauce. So I added that, and then all of the sides I just cooked separately, and I didn't really measure it out. It's just things that I had, like the refried beans. I did half of a can. I had white rice. I cooked some of that, added some shredded cheese, and I use the carb counter wraps because they're really great in calories and they're super good. And I assembled the burritos doing the beans first. I did like a nice layer of beans, and then we did rice, cheese, and the beef, and I packed them pretty full because Joey was taking this to lunch, so I wanted it to be a pretty hearty, good lunch for him. And yeah, they turned out amazing and super easy to microwave. Again, wrap it up in a paper towel, microwave it for about 3 to 4 minutes, and you're good to go. Now, I actually know how to wrap a burrito really good, but it's always messy, so just bear with me on this part. You just want to tuck the sides in, fold the sides, and then wrap it over, but you kind of have to use your hands and like tuck all the filling back in and stuff it. But yeah, just you'll get used to that. Your hands aren't going to look clean. Just a little FYI. But I also wrap these in aluminum foil and freeze them, so he could have them whenever he wanted. And I made 5 total. I'm currently obsessed with skirt steak. It's like all I want. And the marinade I use for this skirt steak is awesome. So I just salt and pepper the skirt steak, and then I cut up half of a purple onion and 5 garlic cloves. And then the secret ingredient is balsamic vinegar, which is affordable and tasty, and it goes a long way. I added about like 1 to 2 cups, I would say, to this because I want it to really cover the skirt steak. So I just put everything in a Ziploc bag, and then I marinate it overnight in the fridge, and then the next day I cook it for dinner. And it literally changes the color of the steak. Like, it's super purple and dark because of the vinegar, but it is so good. It's like salty and sweet. It has a nice sour vinegar punch. I like to cook it in the cast iron on each side first to get it nice and crispy. You'll see what that's going to look like in just a second. But I prefer to do this, and then I popped it onto a baking sheet, and I baked it for the rest of the time on what did I bake it at? 375 for about 12 to 15 minutes, depending on how you like your steak. So around that time, you might want to just kind of look at it and check it. And then the remainder of the garlic and onions and sauce I cooked up in the cast iron that I browned the meat in. You can cook down the juices to be able to eat. Obviously, you can't eat those juices raw. You have to cook them. So I just cooked it up and then added some green beans to it, and it was so good. And I had this for dinner, and it literally felt like I was at a restaurant. Like, first of all, look how beautiful that flank steak is, and I cooked it to perfection, well, the way I like it. And then I had a little bit of potatoes and those green beans with the balsamic onions and garlic, and that was dinner, and it was a treat.